This week on SV Lynx. Welcome to the SV Lynx Sailing and Boat Building channel.
This week's going to be a bit different in the video because we're expecting to receive 2 orders for boat parts that are going to be coming in. And we don't know what day they're going to arrive, but we'll work on the boat all week. But when those 2 shipments arrive, we got to take care of those, and we're going to show you everything that's coming in from Goiot and from Schionning. So Goiot in France and Schionning in South Africa. And they're just clearing customs right now, and they'll let us know what actual day they arrive, and I'm not sure when. Could be anywhere from today till Friday. But when they do arrive, we'll get them unpacked.
Yep, and we'll show you a bit of what we get in each order. So it's Monday. I'm going to head back home now in case one of those shipments arrives before I head out to work today.
So Brian and I are going to get to work here at the lot. We got a message from the Admiral that a shipment had arrived at my house on Monday morning, so Brent and Brian and I went over to find out which one it was. It could have been Goiot or it could have been Schionning. I thought it was the Schionning order, which would have been fairly light, which is why I said this. Well, the 2 options we have are, see how heavy it is if 4 people can get it down. What we all do is get it right here. We don't have to get it anywhere else. The other way is to open it and just take all the stuff out. Let's see what a beast, how heavy a beast this is. It's heavy. All right, so what's holding this top down? Screws? Let me, let's just pull the top off and we'll just take all the stuff out. See, the other order I was expecting is lighter. That's why when I go, oh, I'll pick this up, because I know what's in it was foam. This one weighs 1,300 pounds. This is very exciting stuff for us. So I had Brian and Brent head back to the boatyard and get to work, but the Admiral and I are going to have a little fun and take a look at some of the stuff that we got. And she's got to get to work, but we have a few minutes before she leaves, so I thought I'd take a look at a few things and show you what we got from Goiot.
So the first package we're going to open up is an escape hatch. So let's see how that looks. Oh, no, these are the privacy screens. Oh, very cool.
So there's a net. Looks like that's a bug netting from that side.
Oh,
and this
I see.
Is a privacy, over here. This is a privacy screen. So it has a privacy screen for blocking out sun and people looking in. And then it has bug netting as well, which I now don't know where that went.
That's up here.
Yeah, I just don't know how to get. There we go.
There we go.
So bug netting and privacy screens all built into one, or both open. Pretty cool. These weren't even on their website, so we never even got to see them. I just had a French gentleman trying to explain this to me, and there's a bit of a language barrier there. So these are actually nicer than what I thought we were going to get.
What we were expecting, yeah.
So, very nice. Let's see, it looks like more screens there. This seems different. Let's see what it is.
Ooh.
That is a deck hatch. This is the inside, if you want to tilt it up. These are flush hatches, so the deck is flush with this. And these are the handles from the outside, and on the inside it has the locking handles. Now, I'm not sure exactly how these work yet, but there's a way to open these halfway. So that's then the gas strut that holds it up. So so it sits on the deck like that, and that's an open position, but there's a half locked position as well that you can leave these in.
To get some airflow.
Right, so you can leave them like this, and there's this gap right here. And it's not enough for somebody to get in or anything, but it's enough for air to escape and such, so that it's not so stuffy in there. But if it rained from the top, you can see that it's still not going to get inside. It would just go into the regular gutter and go out. So you can leave them slightly ajar like that and get some airflow if you're away from the boat. So they look nice. Box, what's in the box? I have a guess. From the shape of it, I'm going to guess a port light, but we'll see. Open both ends of the box. Okay, so that's what this is, a port light. Okay, this is one of the longer port lights, so that's from the outside, and from the inside there's these two latches. These open inwards into the cabin, like so, and give you some airflow in there. But when you want to go down, instead of a ton of different latches that you have to do, there's just the two. So it goes down and that's it. Locks down. They're very nice as well. Now these will be set into a dark plexiglass piece that goes all the way down the side of the boat, which I'll show you a picture of here. And but these set into that plexiglass. That's why they're also a smoke color. Smoke from the outside, but clear from the inside when I look. Now, those are nice. We have a lot of these around the boat. But these big ones, that long one, there's one of those in each of the cabins in the boat. Let's see what else we're looking at here. Oh, good. Don't even have to open this one. One decided to come out and show itself. These are our stanchions. So these sit along the edge of the boat, and they're about this high when they're mounted on the boat. And there are 3 lines that will be running up and down. These will probably be Dyneema lines that are running up and down. And then we chose not to have them send us the actual piece that this mounts into on the boat, because to mount those you have to drill holes in the boat. And in our case, there's this 45-degree hull piece next to the deck, and their piece wasn't going to fit properly around that piece. So we're going to custom make all of our stanchion mounts on there. But the nice part about doing that is they're going to be actually glassed into as part of the boat, so there's no holes being drilled through to leak. They're also very, very strong because they're all glassed into the boat. So that's why we chose to do that. And these will just go into those mounts that we make. But above deck where we can see them, these are the stanchions. So. All right.
Very cool.
All right, we have something new, something different.
Something very taped up.
Remember at the beginning when we mistook a screen for a escape hatch? Well, here's the escape hatch. So it's got a bar here, it looks like, for locking it. So let me turn this around. So that would be the way it would be up. And this is it looks like a safety bar that you pull out before you can open this escape hatch. And then that would somehow open the hatch. But yeah, I don't want to go too far, but that's what these are. These are the escape hatches. These were very expensive little items.
But necessary.
No, hopefully not, but certainly
important to have.
There we go.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we hope to never use these.
Yeah.
These are, just to put that in perspective, Schionning's been in business for 35 years, and they have well over 400 of their boats have been built, and not one of them, not one, has ever flipped over and needed escape hatches. So let's not be the first.
No.
There's some things I don't want to be first at. Flipping over a catamaran is one of them, but they have a great safety record. So why do we have these if that safety record is so great? Just because it's best to be safe in life, and this way we're prepared. Just so you know, these were a boat buck each. If you don't know what a boat buck is, it's a 1 with 3 zeros after it.
Oh.
Everything's in boat bucks. All right, let's look at this. I know what this is, but we're going to look at it anyway because I want to see it. There's one thing is seeing pictures, and there's another thing really getting to look at it. And this will just seal it. All right.
Ooh.
Okay. These are important to us. This is the one I wanted to see the most. What this is, it's the other way. It needs to come up this way. This is one of our 4 windows. In fact, if you were facing the stern if you were standing out on the deck here, looking towards the stern of the boat, this is the port side front window. And the window itself is, of course, goes all the way from here all the way down here, so it's a really large window. We wanted hatches to open, obviously, for airflow, and so we went with Goiot's this particular hatch because it has very little framework in here, so that you see through. Still, even when there's a hatch in it, you see through really well, and then it goes out. Now these open outwards like this. So we can get all of that airflow through. And there are 4 of these going across the front of the boat. So between all 4 of these, this is a lot of air coming through the salon on there. And these also have the mode where they could be cracked open and left cracked open. So here's what we mean by that. These are locked so that somebody from the outside can't open these. But there's still air going to be able to come in through here. So we can leave these cracked open as we leave the boat somewhere on anchor or at a dock or something, and not be so stuffy inside when we come back because there's still airflow. That was also very important in why we wanted these hatches. I mean, even technically you could have these cracked open while you're sailing if it wasn't too rough. And if there was just a little bit of splash hit this, it would be fine. So you'd still get airflow in it, but you wouldn't get water coming straight through into the salon. So those look really nice, and this is one of those things where I'm going to get back here and look at it, where just wanted to know what these were going to look like, and they look wonderful. So very happy with them. At that point, we're going to go ahead and get over the lot and start showing you some boat work, because this is Monday, and I've got Brian and Brett over there all doing all the work, so I better get over there and start helping them. And of course, the Admiral has to go to her job, which is help paying for this very stuff that you saw us looking at right now. So she's got to get to work, and I got to get to work. We'll talk to you at the lot. So what we're doing now is we're just putting a little bit of epoxy on, just enough to tack this down because it's going to want to fall off of here. All right, now we gotta get wet this out. Get the second smaller tab on. And then Brian can follow you with the peel flag. One. I'm doing 3 today. Now, I just have to make sure I don't put my hair in this. But we're going to go ahead and do both of these thickened, and then we're going to glass both of these up. Okay, we've got the 3 down now. 1, 2, 3. So all we have left is this bottom one. And we've already got the cove on there, so we're gonna start putting the glass on. We'll be done with these stern ones. Now we won't be doing this to the bow chamfer panels for a while because we have a lot of tweaking still to go up there to get them bent and holding that shape and before we glue them in and such. But they're gonna get there. So that's a wrap for glassing all of the stern chamfer panel in. So that's a big job, and that's all up there now. We'll get to glassing the forward one in probably at least a week from now because we got a lot of more work to do on it before we'll get to that. So we'll move on to something new. Yesterday we got the peel ply finished up after we put all the tabs on, but today we get to pull it off, so let's do that. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth everywhere. I know it looks motley, but that's just
basalt.
fairing compound of different times. So some of it's yellowed, some of it's not. So it's weird colored, but it's actually very smooth right here. And once we fair this, it'll be really nice. All right, one more. So in the ongoing saga of these bow chamfer panels, they started out probably 7-8 inches away from the bulkheads, and we couldn't press them in. But over the last 3 days, we've been slowly cranking them in with straps and using big clamps. It's slowly pulling into shape here, and so is the one on the other side. What you see all this wood is where we've screwed into the 2x4s that we put on the other side. Now this one's got a little bit more work to go. You can see it's still got a gap up there. It's pretty tight on that one. Pretty good there, probably a 1/2 inch to go. So tomorrow we should be able to pull that last little bit on this one as well. And they look really ugly with all those boards stuck to them, but those boards are helping get this shaped into here. Once it's up and they're good, then we'll start gluing along the bottoms and tabbing that in up there. There's a gap you'll see up here, but this comes down. So once we get up there, we can press this down. This is curved, so it'll bend. So once we get the rest of this curved in right, we'll bend this part in here, get it glued, and then tab that whole thing in right. These beasts, one of the more difficult pieces to get right. We'll finally get it all smoothed out and up against the bulkheads and bonded in and everything. So it's going to work. And it was just a colossal amount of bending and work. So it's coming along. Now the rear chamfer panels are already glassed in, so they're done. And so once we get these front ones done, that'll be a big milestone for us. That'll allow us to start doing the decks on top. Right now they're just sitting up there, like this piece here. It's just sitting there. So we dry fitted them early on to make sure they were going to go, and they are. But once this pieces are in, we can start bonding those down to the bulkheads and to this chamfer panel. That is an important one because that allows us to work on the windows eventually up there. But we need these decks in to do that. However, we're going to be getting to those diesel tanks pretty soon here because we really want to get the walls in above them. So we've got to do the tanks below so we get the sole and the walls in. So we'll get into that. So what are we doing today though? We already tightened all these up as much as we can. So since we can't work up here right now, let me take you back and show you. So while I've been showing you guys the bow chamfer panels and what's going on there, you can notice that Brent and Brian are over here pulling the peel ply off of parts. And what those parts are for, so we'll have to go upstairs for that. We're working on the port side here, cockpit, and this is where the bench seat goes. And so the floor has to extend almost all the way out to the opening out there. And we've already got some of these wings glassed in along here, but there are cupboards and stuff that go underneath of here, and those are actually support for the extension of the floor. And that is a big L-shaped piece that goes all the way over and all the way out that way. So that gives us our floor at the stern of the boat here too. So that's one big piece, but in order to put that piece in, we have to have all the support underneath. So they're pulling the peel ply off of that. This long one you see here is one of those pieces. That goes along the face of those little fins that are sticking out right there. And did we need to do this right now? No. The reason we're doing this right now is because we can't work on that front part, and there's just an order in certain things, and so we never want to stop work. So if we're waiting on something like those bow panels to slowly take shape, then we just go work on something else. But what I want to get to soon are these fuel tanks that are right underneath that piece of plywood right there. And what's holding us up there is that there are some parts I don't have, because we need the inspection ports and all the different ports that allow us to have the fill the tanks, or have vents for the tanks, or to pull fuel out of the tanks and return to the tanks. There's a lot of different fittings and such that we have to go, and some of that I just don't have, so I'm hoping to get that soon. Once we have that, and and paint. There's a special paint that we have to do inside of those that will for diesel. And so there's a lot of things, and I have to get that paint, and I have to get those different add-on pieces. As soon as I have those, we're going to get to work on those diesel tanks so that we can get the sole in, and get the walls in, and get these windows on, which is one of my major goals before the rain stuff comes. So right now we got a lot of holes in the boat, but we want to get this all sealed up. I should have got some clamps, so we'll do that right now. All right. What a and the outside. Yep. Then we got where are all those little pieces? Brent and I are here in Compton. We're at the factory, actually storage warehouse, and we've got our order coming in from South Africa, from Schionning, from all of our parts. So we're here to pick that up right now. This is going to come apart in pieces. So.
Oh, this is better. It's going to make it even smaller.
One. If it won't go, we can take it apart. Now it'll go. Okay. Hang on a second. Looks like we're all in. So, why aren't we here with a truck? Because my friend with the truck, Brian, was up in Apple Valley today, so he couldn't come, and it's the last day that we could pick this up without a charge. So Brent's car did it because it was a smallish order. It's Christmas in October, a little early, but we've got a shipment in that we just showed you. We were picking it up, and let's take a look at it. I haven't seen any of this, of course. All coming in from South Africa. What these are rudder posts. So we'll be embedding these into foam inside the rudder, glassing the whole thing up. But this is the rudder post, and then this here is going to tie in up top here to the kick-up rudder system. Now there are 3 of them here because I wanted a spare, and so we're going to have a spare rudder, and so I ordered 3, even though of course Catamaran we only need 2. But this was a lot of manufacturing to get this. Is all tapered and everything, and so while they were doing it, I just had them cut 3 just in case, because it would be very hard to get this manufactured in certain parts of the world where we're there if we happen to bend a rudder somehow. But I'm just going to leave these ones wrapped up and we'll put them away for now. Oh, wait a minute, there's something else on this one. Let me take a look. Okay, on these ones, they have the bushings sitting right here. One at the top and one at the bottom of the post, which isn't the bottom of this, of course, but somewhere about right here. And at the top, this sits inside of a fiberglass, you probably can't see. This sits inside of a fiberglass tube that we built, and these are the bushings for it, so that this can turn inside those bushings.
Well, that was an exciting week. We got a lot of work done on the boat, plus we got both our shipments in.
Yeah, and I wish we could start putting those Goiot parts onto the boat, but there's a lot of stuff to come before that. We've got to finish assembling all this green stuff, and then we got to do all the fairing and sanding before we get to that. And we're both dreading and looking forward to that part. But it would mean that this entire boat isn't assembled, and that's good.
But it will also mean that we will spend 1,000 hours fairing and sanding, which is physically demanding.
Right, but then we get to put all those Goiot parts we just showed John and all the other finished work, and that part will be very much something I am looking forward to. But thank you all for stopping by and spending some time with us, and thanks to all of our patrons. We really appreciate your donations.
Yes, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the bell icon to be notified of our next video.
And then that next video, we're going to be working on the forward chamfer panels some more. Obviously they're up there now, but we've got to glass them in and laminate them and glue them and a whole bunch of tweaks to them. So we'll work on that during the week, plus some other stuff. So we'll see you then.
Bye.